or most of you guys know, and if you don't know yet, you're going to know. So if you guys do me a favor, I got to take a picture of all of us because I like to hang out with good-looking people and motivated people and inspired people. So we got to take a quick selfie, all right?
Yeah. Cool, cool.
I'm going to try and get everybody in here.
Mr. Bob.
Okay, so now you got that out of the way, get to training. So mindset's my topic, but before I go into that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself so we're not strangers, and so we really can kind of connect so we can get through 15 minutes of this training, all right? My name is Todd Boss. I have 4 children. I am no stranger to hard work, as most of us here are. I didn't have the traditional go to school. Well, I went to school for 12 years, but I didn't go to college. So I didn't have that go to college mentality. Kind of struggled in school, so I knew coming out of school I had to do what my parents did, and that's work hard. So my parents had a ridiculous work ethic. They had 4 kids themselves, and all they taught us was how to work hard. And I followed their lead. I worked hard. I didn't go to college, but I found a way to work hard and make great money. I was in the commission-based business, not the salary or the hourly. I was in the commission, so in commission-based business, you get paid what you're worth. You got to go out there and get it, okay? So, like I said, as we all work hard, I went through a couple different companies. I sold Kirby vacuums. As I'm having kids, I sold insurance, so I got a little taste of residual income, and I was really inspired by residual income because I knew that could give me kind of what I wanted, my time. So I wanted my time with my kids ultimately as I was having kids. But the problem is with that, I didn't have the money to start insurance agencies. I don't know if any of you ever looked into businesses, as we spoke about earlier, but in the insurance industry, you need $250,000 to get started, and that was just for like the State Farms, the Allstates. So I did my licensing, paid more than $500 for licensing to become an employee to make a little bit of residual income, just enough to keep me at their office and not go to different companies. So through that, I was like, I'm worth way more money than this. I ended up working for a company, ended up opening my own business in that field in the food industry. So that was good because I made a lot of money. But through this process of having kids, I never had what I really wanted was my time. I kept getting the things I wanted, as we all do here. Every day we go out to work. We're here today because we want to make more money, want to have time freedom from getting to know most people here. So that's a little bit of my story. So I'm going to jump right into training so you guys kind of get the right mindset to go into the rest of training today so you can really learn how to build this business, because it's definitely different than going to school. It's, learn here. Like most people that I've heard, friends go to school, and they spend a lot of years going to school and a lot of money. A little bit of time in ACN to be able to really create whatever you want, which is most people are having their time back, be able to live however they want to live. That to me is, you can't replace that. So, all right, so getting started. First thing you want to do is, that was there, it's not. So we'll go right into this slide. You want to start your store, obviously. You want to get started with the person who brought you out and invited you. The biggest coaching I give you is follow their lead, okay? Having the right mindset. First thing, I always say there's a lot of important things in ACN. When I talk about something different, it's like this is the most important. But in my mind, determining your why is like the absolute most important. I don't have a typical story of getting started in ACN and crushing it right away, breaking records. But what I do have is I'm very smart when it comes to getting what I want. So in the beginning, I started ACN, I was uncoachable. So I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this for 2 things. It's either going to motivate you to be coachable, or it's going to motivate you to follow my footsteps and take 18 months to really decide what ACN can do for your family. And I only tell you that because, like, we can be coachable here, right?
Yeah.
You guys are all here because you're coachable and you want to have something different for your family, right? Or whatever it is. So me, it did take 18 months, and the only reason it did is because I wasn't coachable. I was already making money. Because we can all agree, everyone in here makes money, right? Outside ACN.
Yep.
If we do something, keep your job. Don't quit your job all of a sudden and say, I'm going to get started in ACN and I'm going to quit my job. Because I thought about that. I thought about quitting my business and stopped doing it because ACN was what I wanted. But then I embraced my business to make money to pay the bills and then just build ACN part-time, spare time. And that's how it's done, guys. So fast forwarding 18 months when I decided to be coachable, what I did was I said, I'm going to go out there and just knock this 60 points out. So within 2 weeks, and I'm only telling you this because once I decided to be coachable, within 2 weeks I got my 60 points because I'm the type of guy I'm going to plug in and be coachable and erase that 18 months within my first 2 weeks to sign up for ACN to have my 60 points. So got my 60 points, about $10,000 in billing volume, just a little less than that, and I was like, man, it's an over here. So I'm like, what the heck, excuse my language, what the heck was I doing for 18 months? When I knew what I was doing, I was going to make money the only way I knew how. I was taught my whole life. And if I was going to do that, I was going to have what my parents had and what the people taught me are going to have, okay? So fast forward that, okay, so that's that. So the whole thing is determining your why, guys. Determine your why, what it is for you guys. What drives you guys to be here on Saturday morning around a bunch of inspired people? Is it your time with your family? That was one big thing with me and my kids. Is it paying off some bills? Who in here has some bills? We all have those, right?
Yep.
Who has some debt? We all have a little bit of debt, right? So be inspired, find something besides money to figure out why you're inspired to do ACN, okay? Because you can go out there and find a gig doing anything to make money, but really what's going to help you achieve your why, okay? Helping with college education for children. I told you guys, I didn't go to college, and I'm not saying college is not a good thing. As a matter of fact, my son, he moved to Texas. Long story short, he wants to go to college. Great, I'm cheering him on. I'm gonna motivate him to do what he wants to do, what makes him happy, because I miss not going to college for the college experience. Okay, that's about all I miss. I don't want but I want to be there to provide for him and give him a different, I don't want him to follow my footsteps and have to work so hard to create a living. I want him to do what he wants to do. So if he wants to go to college, fine. What is it for you guys? Do you have kids? Do you want to go to college? Are you currently in college? Keep going to college. This will help you bring in some extra money to be able to pay for books or whatever it is. So helping parents. I know I've got both of my biological parents passed away many years ago. My stepdad, he worked really hard. He was one of my influences, teaching me how to work hard to get what you want. So he worked hard, and now he's on disability and he can't work, and he's afraid to go work to lose his disability because he can't pay the bills. So I want to be able to help him out too. Be able to help parents. What about you guys? Anyone of you got parents that want to help out?
Yep.
Help create a better living. Not that no one doesn't, they don't have a good living now because they've been taught to do. They got a great living, but inspired to help them get more than what they currently have. Okay? There's always better to every level of the game. So, family vacations. We always joke about the Dells or I heard, was it last weekend, Mr. James Adler, he brought a good point up. Like, trips are in the country. Like, I like taking trips all over the country, but I want to, my vision circle's expanded since being an ACN. I want to take vacations, out of the country. I want to take my kids to places they never envisioned they could go to, because the way I was going before made great money to have a lifestyle in Illinois. I want to have a lifestyle around the country. I want my kids to be able to give that vision to their kids. And not just a typical society is go to work, get paid, maybe 2 vacations. If you're lucky, you get 3 or a whole month. I want to be able to do whatever I want. I want, what do you guys want? Do you want to inspire your kids? Do you want to travel the world? Start to think about that stuff. Really embrace what your why is. Forget about the money, guys. You can, like I said before, you can make money doing everything. Figure out why you're doing this business and figure it out quick. If you're serious, who here is serious? Yeah. You're here obviously because you're serious. So figure it out right away. Just figure it out. Don't wait 18 months like I did. Not to say I wasn't coachable. I wasn't coachable to ACN. I wanted what ACN had to offer, but I wasn't coachable to this for 18 months. So figure that out quick. If you can take anything, every leader you guys are working with, everyone here is here with somebody else, right?
Yep.
Okay, so every leader you're working with, the only way they can advance in the company ACN and have more for their family to achieve their whys is to be able to help you get to the next position. So if you're working with a leader and they tell you to do something, it's not because they're your boss, because there's no bosses here. We can not come if we don't want to, but they're going to inspire you to do better because then they can do better. You guys can all live happy lives together and happier or get things you want that you couldn't have before, okay? Give more to charity. We got the honor to be able to hang out with Mr. Toppy and all the leaders, and I'm not a regional director yet, but I was able to hang out with these guys during, I think it was the 28th of last year, December, to go to the Ronald McDonald House and actually give back. Wow. So I always wanted to give back, but I was always too busy trying to make a living for me and my family. So be able to go down there and give back to the Ronald McDonald House, cook a meal for them, hang out with the leaders, besides the giving back, just to hang out with everybody was super cool. And then to see the faces of people walking by that are actually able to impact their life and realize, listen, there's somebody out there that has it worth. Let's just make it, create something crazy big, okay? So either give more to charity. If you're not that person and you don't want to go and give back, what if you made enough money? If you're all about money, what if you made enough money to be able to give back in that way, where you can give money to a church or to somewhere else? What is that for you guys? Okay. So, getting started, the roller coaster. I like this one. And I think I used it the last time I trained up here, the first time I got the opportunity to, is the roller coaster. We all ride roller coaster. Have you ridden a roller coaster before?
Yeah. Okay,
so you don't jump off in the middle, right? So I like that one because when I first said it, I don't know where it came from, but I said it, I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. So, don't jump off. Figure it out. You're here. The reason why you're here is to create something better than whatever the best you have right now is. Make a decision, plant your flag, figure it out. This is what I want. I'm going to go get it. Forget about all the stuff in between. Just make it happen. The end. What's the end in ACN, guys?
SVP.
SVP, and then helping other people become SVPs. So just figure it out. We're all going to go there. And I'm going to give you a little piece of advice that I gave myself when I started being coachable, is they tell us in ACN to, if you don't go through this, you're not really doing ACN. If you don't go through that and all the ups and downs, because every business, everything in life, if you're a professional athlete, there's ups and downs. You're away from your family for 8 months a year, you finally get to go home. So there's ups and downs in everything. But here, just make a decision to plant your flag in ACN, and then just like me, I made it a game. You know, it's like, oh, I drove to pick them up because they didn't show up, you know, or they didn't answer my phone. I just go to the house, pick them up, they blow me off, cool. I can check it off on my list. Like, we got a list of things we got to do, everything we got to do before we become SVP. So I told myself, all right, cool. I had a guy actually a week and a half ago who he didn't answer his phone. He promised me he's going to sign up in ACN because he already looked at it a year ago, didn't have the money. And he said, I'll answer your call, I promise, before you come pick me up. I called him, he didn't answer. I still drove there because I'm like, I haven't drove to someone's house yet for them to not answer the call and come in my vehicle. So I'm like, I'm still going to drive there so I can check it off. I made it a game instead of getting emotional about them. Oh, they blew me off. It doesn't matter if he blew me off. He's an ACN now. It doesn't matter because I was fighting for my kids. What are you guys fighting for? What are you guys going through when you're building ACN? Is anyone going through some ups and downs?
Yeah.
We all are. It's going to happen. Like I tell myself, get over it. It's going to happen. Just check it off your list. Did you come and do a mindset training and we're emotional? Yeah, I just got to get over it because I got to get this done in order for me to do other things. So same thing for you guys. Check it off the list. Make it a game. You know, that's how I did. So learning curve, you're going to go through a learning curve in ACN. I go back to follow the person you're working with, the person who brought you in this environment and invited you, or the leaders you're working with, just follow their lead. Because they're not going to coach you to do something like a coach for, I refer to sports a lot because I like sports. So a coach for the Bears is going to coach his team to do, is that a bad example? So is a coach going to try and coach you to do the right thing? What's the coach ultimately got to do?
Make you win.
He's got to win the game. He's not going to tell you to go, man, I also make some field goal jokes. That's not good. So they're not going to intentionally teach you and coach you to do something that's going to end up winning the game for you guys. Does that make sense? Coach you to do the right thing because ultimately the winning, everybody wins, we all. If you guys win, we all win. So emotional roller coaster, we covered that. Just don't get off. Just the end. Develop the right mental attitude. I think we covered that already. So what? Some wait. So what? Some will. I just assume I just got to check them off. Some are going to find it, you know, a good opportunity. Some are going to wait. You know, like I had 2 experiences in the last week. And I had one guy that looked at it a long time ago. He wasn't the right timing for him, going a lot of personal stuff in his life. He decided to get started now. But because I didn't quit and I had long-term thinking, I didn't care what anybody else thought. I just said, I'm going to do this. He ended up getting started without me having to show him the business again, just because the fact is in the business. So, are you guys having any of those scenarios happen to you guys?
Yep.
Just keep going. I say keep your pipeline full. Keep going. Keep talking to people because the people are going to come around to you later on. It's nothing to do with you guys. It has everything to do with them and their time. All right? Have long-term thinking. Never quit. Never quit because had I quit, I wouldn't have had 2 apps in the last 7 days. Just those 2 specifically of people that have been watching. People who, I had a guy, and this isn't going to happen to everybody, so just put a little disclaimer there. I had a guy who's been following me for the last month. I've known him for a month, okay? He said, I can't make it to the event this Saturday because my wife has to work and I got all the kids. So that's a typical thing we'll get once in a while. Just keep going, who cares? But he called me back and said, but listen, I've been following you the last month. He's only known me for a month. He said, I see what you're doing. I see what you're creating, and I don't want to miss it. This was the James Admiral event. He said, I don't want to miss the opportunity. I understand the opportunity, so can I sign up over the phone? That's not going to happen all the time. But I checked that off my list because it'll happen, I'm sure, one time in your ACN career. So I checked it off my list. What's that for you guys? Keep in mind, everything is going to happen to you. You have to get through everything. And if you quit, you won't have any of these stories to talk about. All right? So, I think that's my part of the training.
Woo!
I appreciate you guys being here. And I get the honor and privilege, there's a couple other trainers coming up here, but I get the honor and privilege to bring up this lady.